I heard most podcasts don't make it past like the third episode or something.
So
Something crazy like
yeah,
that.
it's crazy. And I do have I did a recording last week with a guy, and I was telling him I do have my weeks where I'm like, I'm not doing this. Like I I don't want to do it. But then somebody will call me or they'll message me and they'll be like, that episode you put out 2 weeks ago really helped me. And I'm like, all right, God, that's it. That was my sign to record. So it's been crazy.
Yeah.
I've learned being consistent is the key. Just keep doing it no matter what. I have an episode, I only had like 10 listeners. And I'm like, okay, so I'm not going to talk about that topic. Mark that one out. But yeah, it's worked for me.
Yeah, consistency, that's where most people quit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I've been there too, where some weeks it's just like, I like to record. I record some stuff in advance.
I've learned to do that.
Yeah.
I've learned to do that because what I was doing is I drop on Sundays at 8 p.m. I would get up on a Sunday morning and say, okay, I'm going to record at 1 and then edit and then drop at 8. And I'm like, you never know what'll happen. So now I record on Wednesdays and that gives me time to edit and then I can drop it on Sunday. And then I do recording in advance as well. So that's helped me.
Yeah. So for our listeners here on the Level Up Russellville podcast, tell us first off who you are and then what your podcast is about. Yeah.
So my name is Nicole. The name of my podcast is Nicole Please. I tend to only talk about stuff that I've been through. So a little backstory on myself. I had my daughter at a very young age. I had her at 15. So I had to grow up super, super fast. Normal life stuff, a lot of childhood traumas growing up. And so typically that's what I talk about. I've learned that I'm not the only one that has stuff going on in life, My daughter graduated high school 2 years ago. I hope she didn't listen to this because she's like, Mama, you don't know when I graduated. But when she graduated and she left, I was like, what the heck? It was hard for me. And it wasn't that she went to college because I was proud of her. It was like, my best friend's gone. Like, I didn't know who I was because I've been a mom for so long. Mm-hmm. And so my podcast is it just kind of goes along with me kind of discovering who I am. And I didn't even know that I liked nature.
You've discovered that recently?
I discovered that I like nature. Like, I love going outside. I love being in the grass. Like, I like stuff like that, but I didn't know. So that's what I talk about a lot, is just kind of always betting on myself. So that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
What do you think about Arkansas?
I love it here.
Is this where you're from?
I am. I'm from here. And I talk about that a lot in my podcast too. So I was born in Pine Bluff, and then my parents moved us to Morrilton. I was in the 8th grade. But I love it here. I think it has a lot of potential. Like I said, I grew up in Morrilton, or I graduated high school in Morrilton. I think it has a lot of potential. I think it's going to take people like you and I to kind of bring awareness to the state and to the talent that we have here. But I think we'll be okay.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think for so long I thought Arkansas was boring, and I thought I was going to leave.
Yes.
And then I got married, we had a kid, so the plans changed. But I also realized during that period, as a lot of other things were going on, we got a lot of stuff to do, especially if you like to get outside.
For sure.
And
Absolutely.
When it comes to the creative potential, I have to look for it. Like I've spent this entire year dedicated to just trying to meet as many people as I can around here and find creative people. They're there. It's just, they're hard to find sometimes.
They're hard to find. But once you meet one, and then you meet another, and then it kind of it's like a snowball effect. Yeah, it's definitely a snowball effect. I've met since I've created my pod, I've met some super dope people. It's definitely been an experience. I think me starting the pod helped me kind of discover who I am, because my friend group has changed. Of course, I still love my friends, my old friends, but my friend group has changed because I'm meeting other creative people, and we're all like, hey, we're all the same way. We're all weirdos out here. So I like it. I like it a lot.
Did you have to leave any of your old friends behind?
I did.
Yeah. That's part of
okay.
growth. Probably,
that's absolutely part of growth. I think that had to happen for me. I'm really big on you have to make space. And so maybe in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, it's okay. You still love those people. There's no hard feelings, but they had to leave because they had to make space for the right people to be in your life, for, the stage in your life where you are now. So I think I have like maybe 4 or 5 friends that, you know, I kind of quote unquote lost, but I've really gained some amazing people in my life. And they're like, Nicole, make sure you record this week. You know, people are waiting. And I'm like, okay, Mom, okay, Dad,
Yeah.
but it's been really fun. It's been eye opening for sure.
When did the first payoff come? From the first episode you recorded to, I don't know, the first time you thought, okay.
Honestly, my first episode, I put it out and I had people coming out of the woodwork like, girl, finally you did it. And I'm like, what are y'all been waiting on me? But it was honestly and I felt so much better after I did. I was battling insomnia. Mm-hmm. And something was like, record. And as soon as I got done recording, I went to sleep. And then the next day I was like, okay, people they're gonna talk about me. I know it was horrible, but the feedback was, I didn't get any negative feedback, which was surprising. Mm-hmm. But it worked for me. It's still working. I'm really big on criticism. I welcome it because I know there's always room for growth. So I don't let it bother me when people because my podcast is not for everybody. I have a potty mouth. So, and that's okay. But there's so many podcasts out there. I know that my show will reach who it's supposed to reach. So that's another thing that really keeps me going.
Yeah. Everyone has their own audience,
that's
right?
It. Yeah.
Tap into it. That's cool. Our audience, I'm still trying to figure that out. I think the people that are listening to this right now are probably business owners, entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But those clips we post, which you don't do much of that.
No, I don't. I'm getting into it. A guy told me there's like an app. It's I can't remember anyway. Mm-hmm. He was telling me how AI is going crazy right now. Mm-hmm. I'm having to figure it out. So I'm having my 7 and 13-year-old teach their mom how to work this AI stuff. And I did 2 YouTube videos. And you just submit it, and then it finds the best quote unquote clips. So I've done maybe 2, but your clips, that was actually what I saw is you guys' clip, and then we're like, you know what, I'm going to listen to them, and then here I am.
Yeah. So we use the AI thing too sometimes.
Do you?
It's called Opus.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I have it in my notes. Yeah.
So Opus, you give it a video. Mm-hmm. So this is what I'll do with this podcast. I'll edit the full video together. And then I'll give it to Opus. And Opus will kick back, say, 20 clips. Mm-hmm. And they'll say, okay, this is the one that thinks it's the best. And then I take that, and then I take the captions off of it. Mm-hmm. So I just use it to find it, and then I put music on it. I think the music helps, right?
Absolutely.
It adds something to it. Mm-hmm. And then we also add, like, the pictures and stuff. Mm-hmm. So it takes a little bit of time, but we were doing it manually in the beginning.
Yeah, I know. I would never be able to figure that out. Like, I am confident in myself, but...
Takes time, and I hired a person to do it, so we were spending money on it. You know? And Opus has made it cheaper. Mm-hmm. AI. I've used a little bit of it, but a lot of people in the creative industry, especially, they're like, "Oh no, it's like the end." Oh, there's a lot of people that say that. Oh no, it's the end of creative people. I think it's just a tool that we can use.
I agree.
I agree. You can even do this thing with your phone now, where you let an AI clean it up, and it sounds like it was coming out of one of these.
Really?
Yeah.
I spent a lot of money on a mic.
Yeah.
I could have used my phone.
Well, hey, it's still good to have it.
It is still good to have it.
And it's saved me a couple times where I forgot to hit record over there, or something happened.
Wow.
We're recording right now. Where then I was like, okay, so we pulled the audio off of these and then cleaned it up.
So that's happened to me a couple of times. Or like I had a friend gave me the mics that you kind of clip on you. The battery went dead on one, and I was like, oh no. I recorded an entire episode with no mic. And it was just a lost episode.
The lost episode?
Yes. It's gone. It's gone. It's just complete silence.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So, yeah, for sure.
So are there any other podcasts in the Morrilton area?
That I know of, no. I'm sure they're coming, though. I'm sure they're coming. I know a lot of people like true crime and stuff in the Morrilton area. So I'm like, somebody needs to do a true crime, like a Central Arkansas true crime pod or something. Because I'm big on true crime anyway. That's how I started listening to pods.
Really?
It's true crime. Mm-hmm. So as far as I know, I'm the only one.
Is there a lot of content in Morrilton for true crime?
Heck yeah.
A lot of crime going on
Yeah.
there?
There's a lot of crime in the River Valley area.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody yesterday. He said there's a lot of invisible crime here. And I was like, what's invisible?
I was going to say, what is that? Tell me more.
And I guess that's just the stuff you don't see. Like there's a guy right now over there actually. He's like, well, Russellville doesn't have a lot of, like violent crimes that you see on the news and whatnot. But I guess there's a lot of drugs, definitely a lot of drugs that people don't necessarily think about. There's the, burglaries, I guess. What do you think some crime is that we don't really think about? It's not right in front of our faces. And I'm not very familiar with Morrilton, so it might be a little different. But
I think there's a lot of blue-collar crime going around.
What's a blue-collar crime?
I think in the corporate world, with not necessarily the big CEOs, but definitely like the middlemen, I think there's a lot of corruption going on.
So like
not definitely
stuff.
Like what is it, Enron? Probably not that big, but definitely like in the financial world. I think so, for sure. Because this whole, what is that Cash App glitch that everybody was talking about, that made me side-eye a lot of stuff.
What happened?
So apparently, I'm on Facebook, and I'm like, why is everybody talking about Cash App? And it like froze. Nobody's Cash App was working. And then people were saying, maybe last year around income tax time, Cash App was just taking everybody's refunds.
Oh, really?
And I'm like, oh, why are y'all using Cash App as your primary bank? But okay.
Yeah.
So like somebody's pocketing that money.
Probably so.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
People use Cash App like all the time? Is there like a whole bunch of people that just use? Wow. Do you use Cash App a lot?
I do not.
Yeah, I think
I'm
I've
a
used it
Venmo
occasionally.
girl. I'm a Venmo girl.
Yeah, Venmo.
Or Zelle. I think it's a little more secure.
Okay, so Zelle, that's the sketchy one.
Really? You think so?
Because whenever you ever sell things on Facebook?
No, I've never sold anything. So
there's a whole bunch of people on Facebook that as you're selling something, they give you this, it's a scam message, right? They always want to use Zelle. It's always it's the same story. It's like a same scammer. It happens all the time. They'll be like, hey, my sister lives in your town. She can come get it. Can I go ahead and Zelle you? So I didn't know Zelle was actually legit.
Are you serious? Yeah. I feel like I thought that was like the most secure.
I mean, I'm sure it's fine, but people people are trying to scam people with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure your money's fine.
Oh my goodness. You taught me something.
Yeah. So tell me about this podcast conventions you went to.
Okay, so it's the Arkansas Podcasters Collaborative. I knew nothing about it. A friend of mine, she listens to the pod, and she tagged me in a post, and they were looking for like people who maybe wanted to start a podcast or who were podcasters to come to this convention. And so I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'll try it out. And I did, and it was so amazing. I met so many people, and there's way more podcasters in Arkansas than I thought. There are a ton of them.
What was the convention like? Is there a big hall you're walking around in looking at booths? Or?
So it was more of a conference. So they had different podcast hosts there, like speaking on their journeys of being podcasters. They taught about different softwares they use, different mics. It was more of like an information session, and then definitely a networking event because they had a lot of marketers there. Videographers. There were a lot of people there, and that was in Little Rock. And then they did another one in Bentonville, and it was the same thing, but it was for Northwest Arkansas.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was super good. I got a ton of information. I networked with a lot of people, for sure. And I'm actually interviewing in Northwest Arkansas on the 3rd for a podcast, and it's just I've been on more podcasts with people that I don't know, like yourself, than I would have ever imagined.
Is this what you're doing full time now?
Not yet, but I plan by this time next year, January for sure. I plan to be doing this full time.
So how do you plan on doing that? Like just purely from ads, or are you
no? So
thinking about other
I want to use my education background a little bit. I've always been big in education, but not necessarily one specific sector. So once I started, I've had a lot of people kind of reaching out to me asking like, how do I start a podcast? So I'm saying I'm going to take 2 or 3 months to really study find different, learn about different mics, different cameras, different softwares. And then I think I'm going to do like a consultation, like a podcast consultation firm or something like that. Yeah. My plan is I have a production company, and it's Queen's Vision 1111. And it's kind of I say a production company, but I think it's going to be more than that. I have a newsletter. I haven't been putting it out, so I'm not being consistent with my newsletter. But I think it's going to be more of a support thing. I think I want to provide the structure, the building, for other people to come in and, set up their studio, or if they need help with something in the Conway area, especially women, because I think most of the podcasts that I listen to are male podcasts. And then of course I listen to some females too, but I think as a woman we can be a bit intimidated because so many people think podcast and they think radio, and it's two totally different things. So I think I want to open it up to women and kind of help us get out there.
Yeah. So you probably don't know this about me, but I worked in an online course for a year, and it was for marketing agencies. So we sold this course that, anyways, long story short, the course creator economy, booming. Yes. You can make so much money. Yes. We were making like $150,000 a month.
I was thinking about doing like a curriculum consultation firm, or like going into different school districts and kind of helping them. But I like students, but I don't think that's my thing. I don't think like the traditional education thing is my thing. I think it's more geared towards adults and stuff like this, I think, for sure. But I know it's booming. Yeah. It's booming, especially online. I got my degree online.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Have you ever bought a course online? Like not through a college, but just like a course, a digital course.
I did. And it's so funny. The first course that I bought online was a Facebook marketing course, trying to learn about the whole algorithm that everybody's talking about, how to get monetized on Facebook. I'm not going to say I have it figured out, but I finally get my little pennies on the dollar for my post and like. So I learned a little bit, but I have bought a course online. It was $15.
Really?
Yep. Whole $15.
Yeah, the course we were selling was $5,000.
Oh, yeah.
It was because the way we did it, I actually bought the course 3 years ago when I started my marketing company. I was working at the nuclear plant here in town.
Okay, I know.
I was so fed up. I was ready to just do something for myself. So I found this course. And what I had found first is this guy from Spain, he was making these YouTube videos, giving out all this free value, talking about how he built his marketing agency and how he got these results. And then in some of his videos, he would mention, hey, I'm doing a private mentorship, like you're talking about. Check it out down below, book a call and see if it's a good fit. So that you would end up on a Zoom call with him. And I think I paid like $3,000 at the time.
Goodness. That's believing in yourself, though. It really is.
Yeah.
I commend you for that.
Yeah. And my wife believed in me too, because that was her money. She had brought that money into the marriage, and she was like, "Go for it." And yeah, it worked. I signed a client, and like 6 weeks later, I started making some money. I was like, "Okay, there can be a
return
future
on investment."
Yeah, and then a little bit later, the guy running that course, we had like this Facebook group, and I was going on there and like sharing my learnings with the other people. Yeah. He said, hey, Tal, we're hiring a coach. Do you want to come talk about it? So then long story short, started working with him and really saw how the course market works. There's so much money to be made in it. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. You obviously don't have to charge $5,000 a person.
But if you know you're worth it, charge it.
Yeah, exactly. Have you worked with any clients since you started the podcast at all for their stuff?
I've had 3 different people who have podcasts kind of reach out to me and ask for my advice on, can you look at this for me? Can you listen to this and tell me what you think? And I haven't charged anything. And now I'm like, you know what? I think I can do this. Like, I definitely think I can do it. But I definitely want to do my research first, because I'm not an expert. Like I was telling you earlier, like I'm learning my camera right now, but I think it'll be a good thing.
Yeah,
for sure.
A good way to get started. The way that we are trying to grow as Level Up Russellville is making free content, free videos. The podcast is part of that, but then I don't know, just videos online that build our authority, build our trust. So by the time a business is sitting where you're sitting, you know, like a lot of businesses locally will get them on the show so they can spread their message. But then afterwards, they know, okay, these guys at Level Up Russellville, they do marketing. They can help us grow our business. And that's how we kind of operate.
Yeah. So do you guys go out in the community and volunteer at different events?
Haven't done any events. As far as like going out into the community, we've done a few like videos where we go to businesses and we're like, hey, do you want a free video?
For sure.
And then we record one.
It's free marketing.
Yeah. And then, you know, marketing for us, marketing for them, win-win. I haven't done any events yet. Have you done any of those?
So the only events that I do are like big pop-up shops for different businesses. And so I'll do some, but I don't do them for necessarily my podcast. I have a stylist and I'm an ambassador for her business. And so we did a huge event over the weekend. So I've done those, and it's a lot of networking involved. I mean, there's just a bunch of opportunities in doing that. You meet so many different people. And so I did that, and I actually set up like 4 interviews for different businesses. They're like, we want to come on the podcast and talk. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. What I found, Nicole, is that I've been calling businesses lately and saying, hey, this is Tal with Level Up Russellville. We have an opening coming up on our podcast. Can I come talk to you about it? And most people, I'd say 75% say yes.
See?
And then it's just like a full calendar. So this past week, I've met so many new businesses. And, you know, we're doing a podcast with you. We got several more later this week. So that's something that I think if you were to ever do, like people, because it's just free value for them.
For sure.
It doesn't cost them anything.
Yeah. What I have learned, though, is I had to be careful with what podcast I associate myself with. And so I know I have a potty mouth, but I know who I want my target audience to be. And so I have turned down some interviews on some podcasts because I'm not going to say I don't support I'm not saying I don't support their podcast, but I don't support what their podcast represents. And so I don't want it to look like I'm a hypocrite by being on that on a podcast that's way different from mine or has a totally different view of mine. I'm really open. I'm super open-minded, but I speak on a lot of topics that are personal. And so I don't want to go on a podcast and then feel like I'm being triggered or targeted. So I'm really careful about that too. I actually I turned down 2 interviews recently for that. I'm just kind of being mindful of because this is my brand.
Yeah, I was about to say that. It's managing your brand.
It's my brand. And so as much as I support everybody, I just have to be careful.
I'm sure you have seen these videos. It's the Whatever podcast. It's at a big table, and I've never watched the full thing, but I see their clips occasionally. It's a big table. On one end, it's usually like one side, it's usually girls, and the other side, it's usually guys. And it's just like an all-out battle. Like they're always arguing. They're just going.
And so nobody is getting their point across because everybody's just trying to be louder than everybody else. I like to invite guests on, and I like to be a guest on shows where everybody has a chance to speak their opinion. There's no judgment. It's just a bunch of open-minded people just kind of wanting to get different perspectives for sure. I like that aspect of it. I don't want it to be like, nobody got the message here, because we've all been yelling at each other.
Yeah. Luckily, I've never been a part of a podcast like that. My very first one, I think I told you this, was with William Ford from the Crack House restaurant. And this is the first interview I'd ever done. Like I had walked in there. I wasn't even really planning on interviewing him, to be honest. Like I was with a friend who was going to do the podcast with me. Ended up not working out. But we were going to go get some really spicy food and eat it right here and do a podcast. And that place was closed. So he's like, hey, let's go check out the Crack House. I was like, okay. And then we saw that guy, and I just like, I asked his, he was gone. I asked his girlfriend or his wife. I was like, hey, does he want to be on? She's like, yes. That's how it all started.
Yay.
Just asking somebody.
Yeah.
Just walking up to him.
Do you make a set of interview questions? Or is it just conversational like you and I?
It's usually pretty conversational.
See,
It really depends though.
Yeah.
Because there was this one time I had the vice president of the nuclear plant here, and he's like an engineer.
Yeah.
So he's like a very.
Was that scary?
I was nervous.
I know you were. I'm nervous thinking about it for you.
And I had a list of questions that they had given me, actually.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't like, hey, you can only ask these questions, but the guy, Taylor, who had set this all up, I'm glad he's like, hey, man, here's some stuff you may want to talk. Well, he didn't say stick to it. He's like, hey, here's some stuff you can talk about.
Oh.
And I asked him some off-script things, but a couple of times my mind went blank because I was just so nervous.
Yeah.
And he was somebody, great guy, but he's an engineer, and they're kind of the personality where they answer the question and they'll just stare at you.
And that's it. I worked
There's no more. They're just like, yes.
I worked in the office of engineers, and they were kind of, I gave you the answer. Yep. What's next?
Exactly.
So I do, I make show notes for myself because I'm a rambler. So my ADHD will kick in. I'm like, oh, a squirrel. I'm off the topic. So I make kind of show notes to keep me on track. And then whenever I have guests, I'll kind of come up with a list of questions that I'll ask my guests. And it makes it easier for me.
Yeah, I've listened to a couple of your podcasts a while ago, and one of them, I think you had like 4 guests on, I think.
Yeah.
It was a whole bunch of people.
Yeah. And I've done a lot of trial and error. And I think that if I do episodes with multiple people, it'll be more of a panel thing. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a panel pod maybe once every couple of months and have like social media, Facebook people send in questions that they want to, they just want people's opinions on. And then we just kind of do it that way instead of everybody just trying to talk over each other. I think it'll be easier. It'll be more organized.
Yeah.
If I do it that way.
Do you ever have do you ever want to start another podcast? You're like, oh, this would be a good idea to also do. And
Yes. I had the idea today, and I think what I'm going to do is I had a really, really good idea. I talked to somebody that I think would be a great co-host with me, and we're just going to do maybe once a month, and we're just going to discuss trending topics because I've noticed that while I know what my normal topics are super good, I get a lot of feedback on them. I think in order for me to continue to grow and reach a broader range of people, I need to kind of discuss trending topics as well. No matter, I won't touch politics just because, that can get a little tricky. But especially in the entertainment industry, and then creative world, I think we're gonna do once a month.
Nice.
We're gonna do that.
I'm thinking about starting something along the lines of Russellville Uncensored or something like that, where we sit down, meet with somebody, and there's these word of mouth groups at Russellville. I'm sure Morrilton has them too.
Listen,
and there's some ignorant stuff going on in there.
Listen, my brother's gonna be very mad at me for saying this, but there's this Facebook group, and they were talking about like the guys of Russellville or something like that, or Pope County or something anyway, and this girl, my friend, added me, and I'm scrolling, and I'm like, that's my brother. That's my brother. And yeah, it was crazy. But
So there's a whole group about the guys around there. What was your brother doing to make it on?
He wasn't being a good boy. Let me tell you. I'll say that. My parents raised him better than that. Yeah, so there's that. And then there's Morrilton has like Morrilton Uncensored. Or Ask Morrilton Uncensored is what it's called. And it's like they bash restaurants and talk about how much they hate having to check themselves out at Walmart because there's no cashiers anymore at all. Yeah. I
think it would be interesting to sit down and look at Russellville's groups and then just talk about some of the comments and conversations people are having.
Listen, you can get lost in that.
Yeah.
For sure. Because I'm like, oh no, they didn't. And so you'll click on their page, and because a lot of people they don't want to be anonymous. And that blows my mind because I'm like, I would never post anything like that. Like, but some people don't care. Those will be the perfect guests for you. They're going to tell you all the tea. You're going to know all the deets on Russellville.
Yeah. There's some interesting people around here.
For sure.
One day, I won't get into the details of the guy's name, but I ended up in his store, and an hour later, he had forced me to listen to this just like he had gone into a business and recorded himself secretly as he was screaming at them because he had a disagreement with him, and then he was suing them in court as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm not going to ever have him on here.
That's juicy. Please don't do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So how many podcasts you release every Sunday at 8 p.m.?
Every Sunday.
Why did you choose Sunday at 8 p.m.?
Because I chose a date. A lot of the podcasts that I listen to, they drop at certain times. So one podcast drops on Fridays. And so I know my target audience, and I kind of did a search, and I know my audience I know the type of material that they would like. And so I was like, okay, I need to drop on a day where none of the other really big podcasts are dropping on that day at that time. And so Sundays are like around that time, it's wind down. Some people are, kind of getting ready to go to bed. And then I try and be super inspirational. I like to cheer people up. And so even if they don't listen to it on a Sunday at 8, most of the time people listen to it first thing Monday morning, like when they're on their way to work or school or whatever. And I'm always cracking jokes. So I don't know, I chose Sunday. And it's worked out for me for sure. I was doing a Wednesday episode, but it was kind of hard for me to do that Wednesday episode because I was doing Wednesday and Sunday. And it just it didn't do well with my schedule.
How do you name your episodes? Have you tested different ways to title them?
So what I do is I normally come up with my title first.
Oh, really?
Which is so crazy. I'll think of something and I'll be like, yep, I'm going to talk about that. And then I'll start doing my show notes for it. The big thing that I make sure is I never discuss anything that I've never been through because I touch on a lot of stuff. And so I'll never talk about a topic that I know nothing about. Even if I have a friend that went through that, I'll bring the friend on and say, hey, I'll talk to them and say, hey, someone mentioned this topic to me. I don't know anything about it. Would you be comfortable with coming on and discussing your experience with it? I'll do it that way, but I'll never discuss something that I haven't been through because I really don't have any credibility if I do that,
yeah.
So,
I mean, what are you going to say?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just be making things up, right?
I Googled it, and this is what Google said. Yeah, so that's how I kind of come up with it. But I normally always come up with my topics first.
So how often are you bringing people on to interview them?
So my last couple of episodes have been interviews. I have 2 interviews this weekend, and then I have 2 next week.
Are these people coming to you, or you're going on their show?
I'll be in Dallas this weekend. And so the producer for the film that I'm in, and then the guy who did my intro music, I'm going to interview them separately. And so I'm taking my equipment, my backdrop. I got an Airbnb, a 2-bedroom Airbnb, and I'm going to kind of set up a mock studio in one of the bedrooms and do the interviews that way. Yeah.
Can you talk to us? I mean, maybe the answer is no, but about the show?
I can't.
You can't?
I signed an NDA. It's so exciting. This is new to me. I've never done that before. I've never been.
Can you tell us how you found that?
So,
or was it through the podcast?
No, it wasn't through the podcast. Somebody tagged me in something on Facebook.
Okay.
A producer was looking for people who had acting experience or who were interested in acting, and they tagged me. And I was like, you know what? I'm going for it. And sure enough, here I am, signing NDAs.
There you go. Have you ever done any acting before?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
I'm a drama queen, though. That's what my parents always told me, so I figure what's the difference. But I think it'll be pretty cool because my role is I'm a host. My role, like a not a game show, like a quote-unquote reality show host. And so I'll be comfortable because that's kind of what I do anyway. So I'm excited, though. I'm super excited.
I'm sure once that's all done and posted, you'll share it on your page.
Of course I will.
Check it out.
Let the people know. Yeah.
Do y'all have art walks in Morrilton?
No.
Anything like that?
Mm-mm.
Do you know what an art walk is?
Mm-hmm.
So we do them here in Russellville whenever they do them. I honestly have never been to one, but I'm excited to go to my first one soon. And what we're going to do, I wanted to see what you thought about this, is we're going to have the studio open, and then we're going to bring just people as they come in. They can do like a 2-minute, 3-minute
That'll be
podcast.
really cool. And that'll get people familiar with what you got going on in here.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. And hopefully that'll go well.
It'll go well. It'll be very interesting.
Yeah.
Are you going to randomly select people or?
Just anyone that wants to.
Uh-oh.
Just we'll do a quick interview with them.
Remember you asked about that Russellville Uncensored? They're going to come right in here to you. You won't even have to find them.
The content, just open the doors and it will come.
Yeah, I like that idea, though.
Yeah.
I really like that.
I'm trying to do more stuff like that. The other day I was walking around the local college because I'm trying to hire a video editor right now, so if anyone's listening. But I made this cardboard sign. It was like...
Oh, they thought you were a panhandler.
Maybe so. But I was walking around and as I was walking up to people, like, hey, are you a video editor? And then some people, they would just keep walking or whatever. But some people did talk to me. And
That's good. And that'll be a great opportunity for a college student for sure.
Yeah.
Especially somebody that's interested in film.
Yep, that's exactly it. Trying to just find someone part-time to get in here and get to work.
Yeah. And it can be like it may end up being like an assignment for them. And they can kind of, I like that. I really like that idea. Never thought of it.
So what would you say, Nicole, to someone who's wanting to start a podcast?
Start. I told someone today, she and I were on the phone, and she was like, I want to start a podcast, but I don't know where to start. And I'm like, just start. It's not going to sound good, the first episode. It's not. But once you do it, you're kind of getting that stress off of you. Getting the nerves out, and then you'll just keep going. Even on the rough days, just keep going.
But I don't have a mic.
You don't need a mic. I started with a cell phone. Some people, so I have an iPhone. I started with my iPhone, but I'm sure you can do the same thing, on a Samsung or Android phone for sure.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
As long as you're in a quiet and just go in a closet.
Yeah.
Talk on your phone.
Yeah.
That's good enough.
Because the closet has a close, so it's kind of.
Yeah. Takes that sound.
Mine, you could hear my coffee maker in the back because I was making tea. I was in a big open kitchen, so it was not good. But after I recorded that first one and I got that feedback, I just kept going. I've recorded 2 or 3 episodes because sometimes I'll get something will happen and I'll be like, I need to record. Like an event, something will happen to me, and I'm like, I need to record because I'm sure this has happened to other people. So I have like 2 or 3 episodes where I'm in my car recording, like just driving and talking, and then I don't do any extra editing on those because those are always like my raw and unfiltered ones, and there's a lot of emotion in them, and I get some of those are probably my best episodes that I've gotten the best feedback on because people are like, girl, I was crying too when that happened to me, so. One was like my son's baseball game. It was pouring down raining, and we had been there all day, like from 7 a.m. And it was like 10, 11 p.m. and they were still playing baseball. And it was just like, this baseball mom thing is horrible. We're all here all day. I'm hungry. I'm tired of eating nachos. But yeah, it's been great.
I've done a few car episodes. You just get them done while you're going. You can do this thing, which I told you about, but I'll mention it here again. It's called Adobe Podcast Enhance.
Yes.
You give it your car audio. Sometimes I'll do a podcast in the car. You give it to that, and it sounds so much better.
Yeah.
So and it's free. So there's no excuse if you're thinking about starting a podcast. Get it done.
No excuse at all. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. There's no topic too crazy or too wild.
Yeah, as long
as
you want to do it.
Yeah.
Just talk about it and. It can be fun, and maybe no one will listen at first, but over time you'll meet people, and that's where the magic is.
One of my favorite podcasts is I'll have to give you the name of it. So I learned about it at the event, and it's about conspiracy theories because I'm really big on conspiracy theories, like really, really bad, and it is called Cryptids.
Cryptids?
Okay. Cryptids. Cryptids across the Atlas. And they talk about any kind of Bigfoot. They go to like different towns, different states, and kind of talk to the locals about, the legends there, and they do their research. And a lot of them stem from like factual events, and not necessarily like there's really a Bigfoot, but like, Where did the legend of Bigfoot come from?
Where did it come from?
I didn't hear that one because I thought I knew everything about Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Those are the Dover Lights. So the rest of those got some things.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I listen to, I honestly don't listen to a ton. I listen to My First Million. Have you ever heard of that one?
No.
They interview business owners that have, been very successful. Mm-hmm. So they had this one episode with like the, Native deodorant.
Yes.
Yeah. So like the guy
I
that
use
started
that body wash.
the guy that started that company, it's really interesting to hear how he got started. And they did a podcast with him and how he grew that, where he got his product from at first. Netflix started off as a shampoo company. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, they were doing shampoo, and then there's a whole book about it. I was reading it. Started off as shampoo.
And look at them now. Raising their prices.
And do you know who Alex Hermosi is? Or Leia Hermosi?
No.
You should check them out. You would like them. They do a lot of content about stuff that you would benefit from, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and you would like. But he does a podcast too called "The Game Is Changing" or something, and it's about business.
Okay.
So I only listen to business ones. I need to find like some more fun ones.
I listen to all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I probably have 10 podcasts, and since I travel a lot, I drive, and so what I'll do is say, for instance, this weekend I'm driving to Dallas, and so my 5 top favorite podcasts, I won't listen to their episodes that they put out this week because I'll listen to them on my way. And that way I'm catching up. Yeah. I listen at work sometime. If I'm at home cleaning up or cooking or something, I'll listen for sure. But I probably listen to podcasts more than music.
Does anyone at your day job know about the podcast?
Mm-hmm.
They're cool with it? They're support you?
It's crazy because I used to work at the community college in Morrilton. And that's kind of when I first kicked off my podcast. Mm-hmm. And nobody knew.
Was it a secret or did you just...
It wasn't a secret. I just wasn't broadcasting it because, potty mouth. But when I left, I was like, why did... Like, my numbers are always increasing. But I'm like, goodness gracious, they shot up. Everybody was listening. Like, I'm like, how did they find out? The week after I left. Like, the whole campus.
How long did you work there?
I was there almost a year.
Okay. I'm doing a podcast Friday with the guy that used to teach there. Brian Wilson. Do you know him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He has his own podcast called Life Unwrapped. He does a jiu-jitsu guy. He taught history.
I did not know that.
He has a dojo here in town. He's like a black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
I had no idea.
And yeah, he's a history guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he has a podcast. We're actually going to shoot it in his studio. He's got a sweet studio here in Russellville.
That is so neat. But like I left and when I was there, nobody knew. But when I left, I was getting texts and they were like, why didn't you tell us you have a podcast? And I'm like, because I didn't want y'all to be looking at me crazy. Yeah. So they know now. My current job, they know. It's so crazy because my guy that works part-time, he used to have a podcast out of Batesville. And so we talk about pod stuff all the time, and it's just so ironic. He teaches me a lot because he did it for a really long time. So, of course, all my coworkers now know. But, yeah, it's working out for me.
Yeah. When I started this, I didn't tell, like, my mom. I didn't tell her. I didn't tell my family because, like, my wife knew. But, like, I didn't want to tell a lot of people that I personally knew in case because like I didn't know if it would work.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how long I would do it. Right? It's like and I've done this before where I'll, especially like when I was in high school and college, start something, stop something, start something, stop something.
I think that's us as humans.
So I didn't want to tell. And then when my mom found it, she was like, "It's cool," but she was kind of mad at me. She's like, "Why didn't you tell me?" I was like, "Well, didn't really know if I'd be doing it for a while."
I didn't tell my mom either. I'm like,
did she just find it one day, or
she saw it on Facebook?
Yeah,
and she was like, "Where do I go to listen to your podcast?" And I'm like, "Girl, you don't want to listen to that." And she's like, "Okay, and she probably listens. She hasn't said anything to me about it.
Yeah.
But she probably listens.
Yeah.
I hope she does. Then again, I don't know. My daughter hates it.
Really?
Yeah. She's like, "Mama, I'm so tired of seeing you on TikTok. I'm so tired of people talking about you." And I'm like, "I'm sorry. Let me live my life." Yeah, but yeah, I like it.
Yep.
I can see longevity in it for sure.
Yeah. I don't know what the future will bring for my podcast, but
I think you'll do great.
We'll see.
I think you'll do great. You have great ideas for sure.
Thank you.
So put some fire under them and
Yep.
get them rolling.
Yep.
Get them rolling.
Well, Nicole, it's been a pleasure talking to you so far. Do you have anything else you think we should talk about?
No, it's been amazing. Thank you for letting me come.
Well, thanks for reaching out.
All your feedback, because you always give feedback whenever I post under your videos, asking questions.
Yes. Thank you very much.
It.
And for everyone listening, go check out Nicole Please on
everywhere you listen to your podcast, your favorite podcast.
So we're only. How do you get on all the other ones?
So because I use Spotify, they allow you to distribute your podcast. Your what is it, RSS distribution?
Okay. I just need to go in there and look because I use Spotify for podcasters, but I'm only on Spotify.
They'll share it,
so you
can just you can share it. It's on Apple. I just got on iHeartRadio. I don't know if anybody still uses that, but it's there if you do. So it's iHeartRadio, Apple, Amazon Music, Spotify.
Awesome.